You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the April 6, 2023 meeting of the Long Beach Police Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is April 6th, 2023, and this is the quarterly meeting of the Long Beach Police Commission. Present today is myself, Chief Mark Swistek. We have Commissioner John Coker, Commissioner John Wall, and Commissioner Bob McFadden present. Under old business, just wanted to take a moment to update everybody that our new patrol unit, which we did take delivery of in February of this year, is now on the road on our midnight shift. And in fact, last night was involved in its first vehicle pursuit. In fact, the car that we were chasing flipped over at the town of Michiana Shores entrance, and the driver had fled the vehicle from us. He was wanted on several felony warrants. Deputy Farthing is doing an excellent job on our midnight shift. So in fact, we have that vehicle on the road and we're beginning to break it in. And it was not damaged during last night's pursuit. So yes, big thank you to Chicago Communications for doing the upfitting to the vehicle. And again, thank you to our town council for allowing us to purchase the vehicle that replaced our 2013 Ford Taurus. So any questions on the new patrol yet? All right, next, the firearms testing with Glock. I just wanted to update you that the new handguns have been ordered. We are expected to receive them probably now in the next 30 to 60 days. Again, the budgetary purchase for the handguns will come out of our operating budget for this year. So we'll be taking that out of our equipment fund. And we are looking forward to hopefully having the firearms in the hands of our officers after qualification sometime this summer. And again, just to clarify on that, one of the reasons that we went to that change was because of the optics that will be on the handguns will assist our officers.
Is that like a red bead?
It's a red dot system, but it does not project from the firearm. It only has an optical with a red dot in the center that assists the officer when he is targeting, when he's taking aim on something. So it will not project onto the person, but it will be in the optic the officer's looking through. So under the crisis outreach program, thank you again to LaPorte County Sheriff's Department. They had taken on the initiative for a grant to get the majority of law enforcement officers in LaPorte County trained on the crisis intervention. The goal is to have 50% of LaPorte County personnel trained. We currently have two officers, deputies Jason Yagelski and Deputy Mitchell Seitz have both graduated from the 40-hour class. We also received $2,200 from each officer attending the class, so a total of $4,400 has been returned to the town of Long Beach as part of that grant, and we will be placing the funds into our continuing education fund. We just received the first check today for $2,200, and we are expected to receive the next check for $2,200 in the next 30 days. So again, that was grant funding to us. We did have a little bit of overtime that we did expend to send the officers to the class, but the majority of that was offset because I had went ahead and backfilled for the officers while they attended the training so that we weren't costing too much in overtime. Any questions on the crisis intervention program? New public safety facility update. The project's moving closer to the start of construction. We're still pending final decision on the options for financing for the new facility. The building corporation is working on either the bonding or commercial bank loan. Again, thank you to Councilman John Wall, who has done a tremendous amount of work outside of his normal duties on the council to assist with that project. And the council will be making some decisions here in the next few meetings to get that project closer to completion. Any questions on the public safety building? Under new business, We have a new piece of equipment that is a drone that was purchased by the newly elected LaPorte County Prosecutor Sean Fagan. He had assisted the department with the purchase of the $8,500 drone. The drone will be used for search and rescue, investigations, tracking fleeing individuals. Deputy Matthew Farthing, who is on our night shift, is already a certified FAA federal certified drone pilot. So again, thank you to Prosecutor Fagan for using the traffic deferral funds to assist with that equipment purchase. And it's also just a note that drone is available for both police and fire. So if the fire department would like to have somebody certified as an FAA drone pilot, John, all they have to do is complete the online courses, take the test at Ivy Tech, and then you guys have full access to the drone as well. It'll be kept on station here. It is a little bit of a, I guess, commitment to get certified to operate it. And we are insured as well with the drone for 1 year. And then after that, I'll have to work with Michiana Insurance to make sure that we have that piece of equipment insured additionally.
Main stations is wrong would be here, so the individual would either use maybe station here and then use the drone go around the community or.
No, they would take the drone out on patrol with them. So for instance, tonight, Deputy Farthing's on duty, 6 p.m. tonight to 6 a.m. When he comes on duty, he could take the Pelican case that the drone is in with the extra batteries in that, put it into his vehicle. So while he's out in the field, he has the drone with him. So if there's a need, he can immediately deploy the drone from his vehicle. And then it has thermal imaging, night vision on it. Actually, we've had it up over the lakefront flying it at night, and the imagery on it is pretty good. So they've sent me some videos of that already. And then the days that Deputy Farthing is off, he will leave the drone. The days that he's off, he'll leave the drone here. And then Deputy Seitz is currently working on getting certified as a drone pilot. So then Deputy Seitz would have the drone available to him.
What's the distance that they come?
It's quite a distance. I'm not for certain, but it's quite a distance.
The student perspective would be safer for the officer to stop, follow the visual and radio in and have it had full over.
LaPorte County has used their drones after a vehicle pursuit has crashed and the individuals fled into the woods. And they've actually used theirs, and it has worked phenomenal. They were able to put the drone up over the forest that the one person ran into, and they were able to find the individual by the heat signature who was laying down in some leaves. Individual got up, took off running, and the drone stayed with him until the police canine was able to apprehend him. So I'm not certain, but it has safety features on it. And I forget the distance that Deputy Farthing can set it at, that we can have a buffer zone that it won't run into something. Like if it gets within 5 feet proximity, it'll back off and kind of break itself so that we're not crashing it, you know.
How long
I think 45 minutes flight time, and then we had to bring it down and then recharge, well, not recharge it, but put the secondary battery on it. I think we have 3 batteries total that came with it. Yep. So it came with a 10,000 lume lighting system for at night. So we can actually put it up over somebody. We can light up the area. We can actually talk to the individual through the controller as well, telling them, you know, police department, lay down, place your hands over your head, things like that. So it's very nice. It is. And Michigan City is pursuing the purchase of at least 2 drones. The sheriff's department, I believe, has a half a dozen drones already. So they're becoming very popular in the law enforcement arena. So yes, any other questions on drone? Polaris 6-seater ATV. We have taken delivery of the new ATV back on March 20th. It is currently in Michigan. The graphics were completed today. We are going Monday morning to pick it up, to bring it back to town. And then next week, the lighting, siren, and the finalizing of the upfitting will be done to the ATV. Thank you again to Miss Britt Whitfield for her $10,000 donation towards the $24,000 unit. And then thank you to the town council for allowing us to move forward with this piece of equipment. Again, that'll be available to both police and fire to assist us, not only in the community, but also on the beachfront. So, any questions on the ATV? Golf cart annual permit process. In December of last year, we amended the town ordinance related to registration of golf carts. The annual permit has now changed from $50 for a 1-year registration to a $100 permit for a 2-year registration. And the permits are in, and we ask that the residents start registering the golf carts here at the town hall Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then anyone that is a member of the Long Beach Country Club and they participate in the cart path fees, they will have their golf carts registered at the country club. They are assisting us once again with the registration process. Annually, they handle 180 to 200 registrations up at the country club, and then they send us usually 1 or 2 checks at the end of the registration process. So we're looking at probably about another 10, well, this year, actually, it'll be double that. So about $20,000 in revenue from the registration of golf carts, because typically we do about 200, maybe a little bit more a year that we register.
What do you say, how many is the country club register?
They register typically about 180, maybe a little bit more than that. So,
We're looking at about 20 here in town.
well, 20 or 30 that come to the actual town hall to register. The bulk of the registration is done at the country club through their golf cart path fees that they charge there for their social members and their regular full-time members. Annette, her staff up there, Judy and the ladies, they do an excellent job. And it really takes a lot of work off of Renee when they do it as part of their annual fee structure to their members. So in fact, I just talked to Annette and Judy the other day, and like I said, they're fabulous to work with and they're doing a great job. So underage drinking concerns. Last year, we received several complaints referencing underage drinking on the beaches in the evening hours. We'll be discussing an operational plan to address these concerns this year to include additional manpower that will be deployed to the beach in the evening hours. I would like to encourage parents to have the discussion of underage drinking with their children. Just a few weeks ago on March 15th, we arrested 2 19-year-olds on Lakeshore Drive for the ABC violation, which is the Alcohol Beverage Commission state statute violation. Both 19-year-olds were found to be intoxicated and had been consuming alcohol. So we will be focusing on this year to prevent any issues along our lakefront during our very busy summer months. So any questions on the underage drinking? Reserve Deputy Marshal Unit. We are in the process of adding a new Deputy Marshal to the Reserve Deputy Unit. The new member, Brandon Hughley, will need to complete firearms training, 40-hour pre-basic academy class, TASER certification to include additional training, and 100 hours of field training officer training out in the field. I will add that Brandon Hughley is a retired Army individual who spent 4 years in military intelligence. His parents own the local business of H&S Landscaping. His father, Rob, is currently a Reserve Deputy Marshal with us. In fact, Rob does an exceptional job, and we're very excited to have Brandon joining us as well after his return from the military, where he served overseas in Afghanistan. Is quite proficient with firearms, and it's going to do a really good job for us. In fact, he may even want to pursue a full-time career in law enforcement someday as well, if not here or, with another department. So he does have a desire for law enforcement. We had him this week at Star Uniform getting his uniforms, and we are just waiting on getting him into his initial training before the academy will allow him to start working in the field. So, and this vacancy is due to Jason Speakman, one of our previous reserves, who had left the unit and is now working full-time for the Trail Creek Police Department. So that's how the vacancy came about.
We have to go through the entire training, like a regular police officer?
No, he does not. He will have to do the annual training, the 24 hours minimum a year, but the full academy, he is not required to attend that because his law enforcement powers are limited They are not the same as an individual like myself or the other full-time members that have completed the full academy. So he has limited arrest powers while working for the town of Long Beach under our direction.
What's the difference?
The difference is his arrest powers are only valid while on duty, while in uniform in the town of Long Beach, or working outside of the town when dispatched, by 911. His arrest powers do not apply when he is out of uniform and outside the town of Long Beach. So if he came upon something in the city of Michigan City or in the greater LaPorte County, the only thing he could do is make a citizen's arrest. Obviously, notating it that he's a reserve officer with us, but he doesn't have full arrest power in the state of Indiana like any other full town. Same arrest as anyone. Yep. And he could ride by himself after he completes all the field training requirements and completes all the certifications required by the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy.
And these folks are all covered with their insurance.
Yes. We have liability on them, and then we also have workman compensation coverage on them. And then annually, I give the Michiana Insurance Company, I give them a roster, which currently now with the addition of Brandon Hughley, we'll have 6 total reserve officers. So.
Is that full staff now? Or
For the reserves, we are capped at 6. Because of the size of our department, we can have no more than 6 deputy reserves. So they're all great questions. So, and I do believe one of our other current reserve deputy marshals may be resigning this month due to work commitments that he hasn't been able to come out and assist us as required. So I may have another vacancy, but the only reason he's leaving is because he has a bigger promotion at work and he just can't fulfill the commitments anymore.
most of these reserves live in the area, I mean, in Long Beach or close to?
Close to us, they're all LaPorte County residents. None of them are Long Beach residents. So anyone is listening, though, I am looking, if you know of anybody that's here in the town and is interested in becoming a reserve deputy marshal, please reach out to me. There is no age limitation, like in the full academy, you have to be 36 years old to apply. So you would be eligible. So, except I would have to put you through some physical fitness requirements first, so. Yeah, you got to tie up your running shoes with me. So, yeah. So yes, if you do know of somebody, please have them reach out to me, because there are individuals that have, full-time careers that have a passion for law enforcement and want to give back to their community in that. And I think it's a great honorable thing. So if somebody's interested, let me know. I'll probably have an opening very soon. Police Memorial Ceremony. Annually, the LaPorte County Police Memorial Ceremony is held in the month of May. This year it'll be Friday, May 12th at 11 a.m. at the Michigan City Fraternal Order of Police, located at 416 East US 20. This ceremony is open to the public, and a free luncheon follows the services. Annually, we do host this event to honor the LaPorte County officers who have either died in the line of duty or to remember our retired members who are no longer with us today. The keynote speaker for this year is the state of Indiana Secretary of State, Diego Morales. He'll be our keynote speaker on that day. I will also note, again, our sincere condolences to Deputy Toby Babcock's family. I spoke to Toby's parents last week, and Toby's parents will be attending because we will be recognizing Toby this year during the ceremony, as he had passed last October while on active duty status with us. And he will be memorialized this year during the memorial ceremony as well. So if you're available, again, it's Friday, May 12th at the FOP, 11 a.m. And there's a free luncheon immediately following the about 45-minute ceremony at the FOP.
What was that again, Friday?
Friday, May 12th, 11 a.m. And then after the ceremony, I said there is a luncheon, and then the FOP will be open that day as well, if anybody wants to stay and socialize with any of the officers afterwards. You're welcome to join us. So, spring leaf pickup. I just wanted to let residents know that spring leaf pickup starts April 24th through the 28th. Your leaves must be out by Sunday, April 23rd. This will be a one pass through the entire town. So if you get your leaves out any day after the 24th, you will probably be missed. So please have all leaves raked to the curb, out of the roadway before April 23rd. I did notice today while patrolling the town that already individuals are starting to put them out the curb, which is fine. We appreciate that. Just get them out before April 23rd. So, and a big thank you to Dan Healy, Healy's Landscaping, for working with us once again this year to continue assisting the town with the leaf removal, and then both our public works team for their assistance. Any questions on leaf pickup? All right, departmental policies. I added this as a new agenda item, is that we are currently in the process of updating our departmental policies, as several of our policies are required by mandates from the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy Training Board. The policies related to vehicle pursuits and use of force were updated on today's date, April 6th. There is also a resolution in front of our town council for consideration on Monday, April 10th. The resolution acknowledges the adoption of the mandated state uniform policies. And then our goal is to continue updating our departmental policies as well. Any questions? And I have, if anybody wants to take a look at them, I also emailed them to the council today. This is what they look like in their printed form, both of the policies. In fact, the previous policies that the department was utilizing in their policy manual was just one continuous Word document. I like to have separated policies for each individual specific topic. So I've started to do them numerical by number, and I'll have them separated out. I'm already up to, I think, 12 of them that I have done thus far. I'll continue to update these, share it with the council. And then when we have everything completed, eventually we'll get the entire manual to the town council and the town attorney as well. So, and Chris Willoughby, our town attorney, has been very helpful assisting with the preparing the resolutions for Monday.
The policies are in reference to types of activity or decision making or.
Yes, the vehicle pursuits is a state mandated policy that is now a uniform policy for all departments. It gives requirements of how we should drive during pursuits, that we must drive with due regard. That means that just because the traffic light we're approaching is red and we have our lights and siren on, doesn't give us the means to travel through a red light. We still have to stop with due regard, check both ways before proceeding through an intersection to not cause any harm to any passing motorists and that. And then it also has all the state definitions of state code, the laws that apply to us when driving a motor vehicle in emergency operation mode as well. And then the use of force. I do like the use of force mandate from the academy, because there is something new in here that we've never seen in any use of force policy, at least in my 31 years of doing this, is that the state of Indiana has now mandated that every law enforcement officer has a duty to intervene. And what that means is that a law enforcement officer who is present and observes another officer using force that the officer has reason to know is excessive under the circumstances shall have a duty to intervene when it is safe and feasible to do so. Law enforcement officers who intervene shall immediately report the incident to a supervisor or commanding officer. And I really like that. I've seen some videos out there online on Police One, where one I'll use as an example most recently, I think it occurred in the last year. It was a young female officer at an unnamed department. She observed her sergeant, who was a very stout man, who was in the back of a patrol car, kind of manhandling an individual who was already handcuffed. And the young female officer grabbed the sergeant by the back of his duty belt, pulled him out of the car and said, "Sergeant, knock it off." He turned around, grabbed her by the throat, pinned her against the car, and then said, "I'll deal with you in 5 minutes up at the station." They eventually fired that sergeant, which I fully support. And that female officer took a lot for her to step up to take her sergeant head on like that at a call. So I do like the duty to intervene that's added in here. And our staff is all aware of this as well. So I just want to make sure that we are operating in a professional manner and that we only use the use of force necessary to effect the arrest and no more than that. unless the officers are faced with, imminent life, threats or anything to their safety or the safety of others. So both very good policies. And I'll explain further at the town council meeting on Monday to the council why we've adopted these. And like I said, I do support both of them. So aside from that, gentlemen, unless there's any questions on the policies. And public, I believe we only have our reporters on. Is there anyone on Zoom that has any comments, questions? All right, no public comment. There's nobody present in the audience. Any commissioner comments? Commissioner McFadden? Commissioner Wall? Commissioner Coker? All right, with that, I appreciate everybody's attendance today. It is 4:26 p.m. We will conclude today's quarterly meeting, that being April 2023 of the Long Beach Police Commission. Our next meeting is set for September 7th at 4 p.m., either by Zoom or here in the town hall meeting room. Thank you, everyone, and have a happy Easter this weekend.